I longed to be back in the wall. That was my true home. We were inhuman beings. Butchers on a field full of corpses. Corrupt and depraved. Only a sum of viscera, blood and bone. Creatures without souls. To make matters worse, I saw that the area was guarded by Waffen-SS troops. Those units had one basic rule: take no prisoners. Exactly like me. The first step was done. I was finally in the bunker. The fuel depot was certain to be in the lowest level to protect it from bombing raids. The mishap with my lost equipment would not stop me, but without explosive charges, the situation was hopeless. But the Germans were sure to have explosives stored somewhere in the bunker. Soon they would see what they were good for. A German fuel depot and an explosive charge sounded like a very promising combination. The problem was I had to be back outside before this rendezvous developed chemistry. In France, there was a man whom I'd always wanted to meet. Colonel Willy Schunzel, better known as the Butcher of Paris. It was no wonder that he was at the top of the list. It is just that so far no one had succeeded in coming close to him. We had learned that Schunzel wanted to see the looted art in the cathedral. As ever, he followed the siren call of gold. It was reported that every entrance to the interior of the cathedral was blocked, except for one door which led down into the crypt. However, the entire area was heavily guarded. I had to keep my eyes open, but an opportunity always arises. It appeared as though I had found a way into the cathedral. I didn't know where the dark, musty vaults of the crypt would lead. The SS certainly were not here to hold a service. Whatever they were plundering, they were doing me a favor. They had finally delivered the Butcher to me. I had to be careful. Schunsel and his infamous bodyguards could have been anywhere in the building. If there was an alarm, I would be certain to run into difficulties, and Schunsel, that psychopath, would take refuge behind his men.
Alors, comment te sens-tu?
Comme un sale porc.
Oh, alors ça va.
Si tu veux être un porc, je t'en prie, vas-y. Mais j'ai l'impression que nous ne survivrons pas.
Allez, ne sois pas nerveux, Van. C'est ça qu'ils attendent. Je l'avais vu venir. Je croyais qu'on était d'accord et qu'elle devait disparaître.
Tu crois qu'elle nous entend?
After the butcher was dead, peace returned to Paris. At least for one night. Well-paid sources reported that a submarine had recently tied up at Dock 11 in the Hamburg harbour. But that was not all. Top-secret documents were also said to be at the dock, showing the routes of various German submarines in the North Atlantic. It would be a nightmare for the Nazis if the papers fell into enemy hands. I was infiltrated into the German Reich for exactly this purpose. No agent had ever returned from there alive. Only once I had the papers in hand would I be able to move on to the second part of the operation. The destruction of the submarine, for which air support had been promised. But first I had to find a way onto the docks. The second part of the plan could begin. The pilots were eager to deliver their presents, as they called them. There was just one problem. The target could not be seen in the dark. Flares would betray the surprise attack. We've got to get the subs before they dive. Therefore, I had to mark the target from the ground. The tanker standing near the quay would provide more than enough light. An explosive charge would be enough to turn night into day. There had to be explosives somewhere in this naval harbour. I only had to find them. The submarines were destroyed that night. Operation Gomorrah was a complete success. Later, I heard that 30,000 civilians were also killed. Three of our top agents had been uncovered in Warsaw. Although the men had succeeded in hiding in the sewers, the damage was very serious. My mission was to prevent secret information from falling into the Germans' hands at any cost. I was smuggled in, unarmed and disguised. I had to find the men before the Gestapo did. If there was no way out, I had to silence them. Those were my orders. It was suspected that their hiding place was in a section of the sewers near the ghetto. It would not be easy to get there, The Nazis were in the process of cleaning out the entire ghetto. Too late. One of the agents had been caught, and the Gestapo knows how to make people talk. In other words, the man was as good as dead. I had to follow them to the prison, but first I had to find the other agents. Andrei Kurczak, codename Josef. His fight was over. The man was seriously wounded, but he did not want to swallow his pill. Home is always in the wrong direction, and Josef would never make it out of here. I had no choice, and there was something I needed from him.
Tu crois qu'elle nous entend?
Elle est complètement dans les vapes. Une raison de plus d'en finir au plus vite. Qui sait si elle se réveillera jamais.
Non, on ne peut pas juste la tuer. Pourquoi donc es-tu revenu, Paul?
Ils pressent tout le monde comme un citron. Ils ont défoncé toutes les dents d'Henri, et encore il a eu de la chance. 2 hommes ont été descendus. Ils menacent de faire un massacre si personne ne leur dit où elle se cache. Maurice, ils sont sérieux. Il faut la leur livrer.
Non, elle est unique. Nous ne devons pas l'abandonner, Paul. Tu sais ce qu'ils lui feront?
It was Jerzy Yarkovich, codename Wojciech. His skin showed red spots. He had taken cyanide.
Tu sais ce qu'ils lui feront? On ne peut pas le permettre. Et elle pourrait nous être utile. Ne sois pas idiot, Paul.
Non, on ne peut plus prendre ce risque. Les SS sont déjà sur notre piste. Nos camarades ont peur pour leur famille. Ils sont terrorisés.
Tu ne crois pas que je le suis? Nous ne devons pas nous précipiter. Tu es trop nerveux. Nous avons bien fait. Aurions-nous dû la laisser mourir?
Regarde-la, ce n'est pas la peine. Elle est plus morte que vive. Tu veux sacrifier tout un village, les femmes et les enfants?
Elle a un ange gardien puissant. Il nous a menés à elle pour que nous l'aidions. Son destin est le nôtre. Ne le vois-tu pas?
Il ne faut pas croire tout ce que tu vois.
Only the third man was left. There was nothing I could do. Nothing aside from breaking into the Gestapo prison and serving him with cyanide. Who would want anything else in such a situation? There's nothing to lose when everything is already lost. The city was swarming with soldiers. Immediately after I left the sewers, I saw the face of death, a mixture of madness and despair. Snipers. The room where I landed was the cellar of the main building. In the distance, I heard screams. I felt as though I were permanently intoxicated. Everything before me became sharp and clear. I was sleepwalking and wide awake at the same time. I could only think of one thing: cyanide.
Il ne faut pas croire tout ce que tu vois. On n'aurait pas dû la cacher. On n'aurait jamais dû l'amener ici.
Paul, elle a tué Cam. C'est peut-être un agent britannique. Peut-être qu'elle a quelque chose à voir avec l'action contre Schütze. Pourquoi les SS la chercheraient-ils comme des fous? Aucun d'entre nous n'aurait pu faire ça. Elle peut donner une nouvelle force à la résistance.
Oui, peut-être, mais on ne la connaît pas. Veux-tu sacrifier tout et tout le monde pour une inconnue à moitié morte? Tu es fou. Et si elle ne s'en sort pas?
Elle s'en sortira.
Ça posera des problèmes. Comment vas-tu expliquer ça aux autres? Ils ne nous suivront pas.
What does it feel like to take cyanide? There isn't much time to think. The poison works quickly. The body shakes in a mad dance of death. The lungs burst. In a few endless seconds, it is all over. There's no such thing as a simple death, but darkness, release. Another man in France was authorized for assassination, Colonel Alfred Kamm. He was considered the most important mind in the German military intelligence. Kamm pursued the resistance mercilessly. He'd almost wiped them out. I had to eliminate him no matter how. Kamm and I had one thing in common. We always carried out a mission to the end. But this time, only one of us would succeed. It was not difficult to find Kamm's unit. One only needed to follow his bloody trail. The manhunter and his pack spent almost every night in an unsavory inn called Le Boeuf. Twice the caution is called for in the nest of collaborators, but there is nothing that cannot be achieved if one is skilled enough.
Das Wasser ist zwar kalt, aber sehr erfrischend. Herrlich.
Nicht nur das Wasser, meine Süße.
Hey, was fällt dir ein?
Spaß muss sein.
Pass bloß auf, sonst muss ich handgreiflich werden.
Oh, handgreiflich? Sehr gern sogar.
Ich kann gern nachher noch in die Mühle. Drumherum gibt's einen Ausschanzplatz. Da können wir es uns noch gemütlich machen.
Oh ja, klingt gut. Vorher holen wir uns aber noch eine Flasche aus dem Weinkeller.
Apropos, hast du eigentlich schon gehört, was man von der Mühle aus so alles beobachten kann?
Nee, was denn?
Von dort aus kannst du heimlich in Kams Zimmer gucken, ohne dass er was merkt. Da geht's manchmal ganz schön heiß her.
Ui, dann können wir uns ja noch ein paar Anregungen holen.
Pass auf, diese Nacht wirst du so schnell nicht vergessen.
They were completely right. Mission accomplished. Cam was on his way to hell. Now I had to disappear as quickly as possible.
Jeder, der abhauen will, wird sofort erschossen. Wo steckst du? Komm raus! Du bist tot! Tot, hörst du?
Te rappelles-tu comment on l'a amenée ici? Nos hommes l'ont trouvée. Je ne croyais vraiment pas qu'elle s'en sortirait. Tu as immédiatement cherché un médecin.
Maintenant, beaucoup d'innocents doivent en payer les frais. C'est ce que tu veux? Est-ce que ça en vaut la peine?
L'avons-nous cachée si longtemps pour l'abandonner à la fin? Maintenant, nous pouvons la tuer nous-mêmes et lui épargner la torture.
Il faut prendre une décision. Ces cochons de SS vont bientôt revenir. Et je ne veux pas faire couler le sang pour rien.
On ne peut pas décider de ça seul. Je suis sûr que c'est un agent britannique. Nous devons en informer notre contact à Paris.
Non. Moins il y a de personnes au courant, mieux c'est. Ils se fichent de nous à Paris. Je veux juste sauver nos gens.
I spent many nights lying in wait until dawn, staring at the walls for an eternity. They stared back and crept closer. I no longer feel any pain, only warm, flowing blood. It all seems like a dream. Is the war over? Where am I? And where's my equipment? I'm almost naked. I need to get out of here as quickly as possible. But not without a weapon. I was betrayed, sold. But what does it matter? Death dances on the ruins of my life and stills the hunger. The Germans are honoring me with the most brutal special unit they have, the Derlewenger Brigade. They will annihilate the entire village, burn everything, including the villagers, just to avenge Cam. I must save whatever I can. There isn't much time. The village is burning. The villagers, humiliated, beaten, hanged, burnt, dead. I continue to blunder blindly forward, like an escaped madwoman. Where does my path lead? I fall into nothing.